Detroit, 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 Detroit is different. Detroit is different. Detroit, Detroit, different. Detroit is different. Detroit is different.
Welcome back to the Detroit is Different podcast studios. And in studio, I have somebody that I've known for a long time and definitely has been one of the, I'll say one of my OGs, but somebody I look up to. Learned a lot from him and his business partner. They have been featured on Detroit is Different before, but it was like not in like the classic Detroit is Different way and style. And when we talk about style, he's one of the most fashionable, stylish guys that you'll ever meet. And that comes from across the board for years. Definitely known as that. And being that he does what he does, that only adds to the experience of connecting what he's done in business and entrepreneurship and leadership. And also right now, really just pouring a lot of faith and belief into a lot of people such as myself. Tony Stovall, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you, young man?
Good. So, Detroit is Different always starts out from like a lot of the lenses of the roots to Detroit. Through a lot of these interviews, I found out a lot of the travels and journeys of people throughout the city of Detroit and what led them here and everything. So the classic first question is always, how many generations deep are you and your family to Detroit?
How many are we deep? Let's see. My father is from Alton, Illinois. We stayed in, then he brought me up here. I was not born here. I was born in Alton, Illinois. And I was 4 years old when my father came up here, like a lot of people moving from the South to get a job. And he landed the job at Chrysler, and he had me, my sister at the time. We all moved to Detroit. Now, my younger sister and brother, they were born in Detroit, but we were born, and me and my older sister were born in Alton, Illinois. But Detroit is home.
Okay.
And I'm proud to say it's home because I've never went to any other public school other than here in the city of Detroit. And I feel honored to be part of the Detroit legacy of the great things that this great city has done.
Well, I would say definitely in it, you're a big part of making that history come to light and connecting for just so many people. Alton, Illinois. Where is Alton, Illinois? That's that question.
Often when I tell people that they have no idea, because most people think I'm from Detroit. And I basically am from Detroit.
I mean, them 4 years. I mean, it wasn't a lot of moving and shaking. I think you was doing
right. So what it was is it's across the bridge from East St. Louis.
Wow. So in that pocket, okay.
So now see how you felt that?
Oh yeah, I know some East St. Louis people. Okay,
yeah, East St. Louis. And I'm not gonna say, but it has some similarities to the city of Detroit.
Yes, definitely.
You have a strong black population of folks that, like most Detroiters, we got grit, we got grind, and we truly try to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be here on your show today because Detroit is different. It's truly a compliment. The world would be a sad place if we weren't all different. God created all of us to be different, and Detroit has its own. So many roots of greatness, from religion to Motown to the first streets paved were here in the city of Detroit. Music, Motown, fashion, hot Sam's. So many different things have come. Religion, Detroit. You know, people talk about Martin Luther King. Well, his first trial speech was done here in the city of Detroit. The great speech we all heard about, and then the March on Washington. So his legacy is long, and it's wonderful.
Very much so. And I guess that bounces right into I know where, and I think most people should know where, but it may be somebody watching that doesn't know. But when you guys come to Detroit, what side of town do y'all move on, and where do you start laying your roots?
And Detroit is one of the rare cities that this question could be. And with me, it truly is a difference. Now, a lot of people, it might be a little different. I'm from the Eastside of Detroit.
Yes, sir.
And we boldly say, Eastside.
Yes.
You very seldom hear someone say, West Side. And I'm not hating, but the grit seems to really come from Eastside. And I'm proud to be from the Eastside because actually I think because we get our grit, Eastside, we had nothing, we had less. When I was growing up, the West Side would be like what we call the suburbs. It seemed like the families on the West Side had a little more finance and resources than those off the east side. But it's still all the part that makes us Detroit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, like, I guess in this same journey, I know you as entrepreneurship, fashion, Hot Sam's Clothing, you and Mr. Green. Most of my life have, been staples.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I bought my prom suit from you guys, and that was 2001. So that's 24 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the first time I walked. It was the other location.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how time flies, and time. The other sayings that time really flies when you're enjoying yourself.
Mhm.
I actually been down to Hot Sam's for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I started working at Hot Sam's in '74.
Okay.
I was going to Southeastern High School. Then I was actually in school to be an electrical engineer.
Mhm.
And I started working at Hot Sam's in '74, and ended up buying Hot Sam's in '94. And I say that to say I want every young person out there to know that you bring value to whatever establishment you may work, wherever you may be employed. They don't have you there just because of your good looks. They really have you there because you produce and you're valuable to the company. I say that to say I was one of the top producers of the store. When I learned out about selling and people and all this thing through Hot Sales, my father raised me to always be the best at whatever I was going to be. So I became the top salesman. From 75 on, I was the top salesman. And what that did, that created value to me, to this company. But at one point, I didn't like working for somebody else. I wanted to work for myself. So I shared that with the owners of Hot Sam's that I wanted to leave and do something else. And they said something to me I'll never forget. They gave me an opportunity to buy Hot Sam's. So then me and Mr. Green, who was one of my top salesmen at the time, we got together and we bought Hot Sam's. And it's been a blessing ever since. But our story is really based on trying to inspire any young person that you can be anything you want to be. Work hard at it. And I do a lot of career days in the public school system to let the young folks know you can do whatever you want to do. But it ties in hard work, and hard work. Nothing worth having it's not given to you. You have to appreciate where you come from. Hard work makes you appreciate what you have now. When everything is given to you, we tend to take it for granted. But when you work for it and earn it, you hold value to it.
Yes, sir. Definitely. In that same scope, I want to get more of an understanding, even the first, when you start working at Hot Sam's, what was the connection? Were you like, was it just one of those things where it's like, okay, I know fashion, and I guess that's so it's like two questions kind of. What was how were you defining style? How were you connecting with it? Like what was that getting at?
Well, some things I think people say is God-given. Like I think God gave me the gift of conversation. A lot of us are more laid back, and I was always a very talkative young man. And then I also always had a bug for fashion. In my high school, I went to Southeastern High School on the east side. When I graduated, I was voted the best dressed.
Okay.
My father was a snazzy dresser. So my father took me to Hot Sam's to get my first real suit. So he took me down there, and I really liked how they would taking care of the customers. And it was just a great time. They fitted me up, and I got my first real suit from Hot Sam's. I think I was around 15 years old. And then I have an uncle, Mr. Bateman. He used to work for Motown. Actually, he's one of the sharpest guys there was, because when he was there, he also lived in New York. I was wearing custom suits to my high school.
Wow.
That my uncle had made for me. So I had a flair for dressing. And then while I'm in college, I decided I shopped at Hot Sam's later, right? That's where I was shopped all the time. Then one day I'm in there shopping, and the owner asked me would I like to work there because he saw that I could dress. So therefore, I've been dressing all my life. We didn't have much, but the little we had, we always hooked it up. We had this thing they called back in the day, the Hot Sam's still has to this day, layaway. You get out of school in June, and then you have a little summer job, and you start putting things in the layaway. And by September the next year, you got your new outfit. So Hot Sam's still has layaway, and you don't have to bite off too much, little at a time. You can establish a nice wardrobe. And Hot Sam's, we have an eye for fashion, and we want you to look good. Because if you look good, you feel good. We actually have a model that we do with a lot of people, and I want you to hear what I'm saying, because it's very true. You have one opportunity to make your first impression. One. why not look your best for that opportunity? Now, you may get a second chance. I'm not saying you won't, but you have one opportunity to make that first impression. Why not make it your best? Because people do judge us when they see us. So therefore, why not look your best? We're getting into a generation now that tends to lay back a little bit, and they wonder why some of us are treating them so unfairly. They need to. We didn't have much being raised, but we knew we had to have hygiene. We needed to be neat. I needed to have my clothes had to be pressed. They couldn't be wrinkled up. So how you look was very important. Because if you go back to the history of black people, you can tell black men in the soup kitchen with a suit on, top coat, and a tie, because they wanted to look good, even though they financially were challenged. Yes.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I remember just like conversations at Hot Sam's alone. I remember a pretty long conversation with Mr. Green about denim and how denim was looked at just due to, other generations and never seeing where people would look at denim today. And, and shout out to like Maurice Malone from here and everything like that. But definitely the history of denim, and especially our people and what that meant and what that represented, it definitely was not looked at in a fashionable sense per se.
Matter of fact, with Mr. Green, because me and Mr. Green is my business partner, and we have two different skill sets, but very strong on commitment of customer service. Mr. Green went to school on the Eastside. He went to Northeastern, where he got a master's degree in tailoring. Then he went to UAD and got a master's degree in business administration. So between the two of us, we have a great deal of sales experience and experience in the fashion industry. Mr. Green can make any kind of suit you want. But when we were growing up, we would never wear blue jeans thinking we look sharp. Because wearing blue jeans back then was a time of poverty. It made you look, you were poor, didn't have this. And now my granddaughter was by the house the other day, and she had some blue jeans on, and they had holes in the knees. So I jokingly told her, honey, I think we could do a little better than that. You don't have to wear holes in your pants. So she shared with me, no, Papa, this the style and they're expensive. I don't care what they were. They looked tattered and she looked like she was broke. But now the fashions have changed, and that's supposed to be a good look. When we were growing up, wearing blue jeans was the last thing we would do.
Definitely. I remember that conversation and it sticks out in my mind. Actually, other interviews have touched into that connecting just because definitely our history, like it's associated with sharecropping. It's associated with some horrors of the Black experience in America. So people, those, it's a bunch of August Wilson plays going to be happening all year, just honoring what August Wilson brought. And then even what Gary spoke to, Gary Anderson from Plowshares. This is one monumental year for Black theater too. So in 2026. So get some of that culture, it's around. In that same sense, I do, when you say you always kind of had an eye for fashion and your father had an eye for fashion, what was, you say it was just God-given talent. When did you start connecting that? It's like, you looking a lot cooler than everybody else in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did that start standing out?
You know where it starts? I had a dad, and I want everybody to hear this clearly. Fathers truly love their children as much as their mother does. The love is just shared differently. Growing up, I thought my father was very mean because he was taskmaster. He didn't want us laying around doing nothing, and he wanted to make sure we got a good education. And he gave me a couple rules that I still follow to this day. You meet a man, you give a firm handshake, and you look him directly in the eyes. You look up and worship no man, but you carry yourself high, so you'll be treated equally with any man. So that's something that I still use to this day. And my word, your word, is all you have. So we try to use those basic essentials. And then from gaining confidence from that, just walking, and I was a short guy for a while. And
I can't see that.
And that's hard for a lot of people to believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't see that.
It wasn't until I got into high school is when I grew to be about 5'10". Then I got to be 6 feet. Then I got to be 6'2". I watched the difference in how people treat you when you're tall. So the taller I got, the straighter I walked, the higher I kept my head up, my shoulders up. And people start looking at me and treating me differently. Then I always had this eye for fashion, but because I'm telling you this is strange about the world, you can gain confidence in that. If you have to love yourself. So we live in a society now that teaches if you love yourself, you must be vain or you egotistical. It's impossible for you to love anyone if you don't love yourself. Hurt people hurt people. So I've been able to go through most of my life knowing I was a king, walking and talking like a king, but treating the people equally. It's very important that we treat our friends and everyone else equally. Then being blessed with a gift of gab and life seems to be a lot better when you're smiling versus with your face frowned all up.
Yeah, definitely.
Self-confidence is so important, and we have to balance our self-confidence. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? We should not let anyone have the privilege of trying to qualify you, evaluate you to determine who you are. That comes from yourself. It's an inside job. And once you gain some self-confidence, the thought of being a little different is nice. I never did want to look just like everybody else, never did want to dress just like everybody else. I always had a little flair to do something a little different. Yeah. And I think that's what makes us stand out from others.
Okay. All right. And with that, now I guess I got to just go in the journey. And I mean, even to this day, you start like seeing it for different, like you see it for yourself, and then you start working at Hot Sam's. Right. Did you immediately like the road? Like, did you take to it and say like, look, you should wear this with this and this with this? And people were like, okay, I'm gonna try that. Like, how did it start early on at Hot Sam's, you as the salesman? Because definitely the gift of gab and putting that together.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It sounds easy. It's not. Because when you're trying to put something together, because I think everybody in the city of Detroit think they can dress. Detroit has a reputation of being flashy dresses, and I know I look good. That's kind of our reputation. So who am I to tell someone what's right and what's not? But when you have consistency, like I said, I've been down there for over 50 years. The store is over 100 years old. We did something right. And that what we did right was, one, treat the customer fairly. It's an old saying, the customer is king. It is the best one you want to keep, because we're nothing without our customers. Then you have to build confidence in them, because there's a statistic that a lot of people like to go shopping when they're a little on the depressed side. So if we can cheer them up, make them feel a little better, then they start looking a little better. It helps you gain confidence with that customer. I have customers of third generations who won't let nobody wait on but me. To this day now, I still go when one of my salesmen is waiting on someone. I'm like the one I can come over and say, that's the outfit. It sanctions the deal, but it comes from us nurturing the customer, letting them know we do care. And I let them know I'm not just doing this for me, because when you go out, we go out with you. See, when I sell you outfit, that means Hot Sam's going out with you, because when they say you sharp, we can probably say, oh, I got that Hot Sam's. But if you don't look sharp, I don't want you saying, well, I got this raggedy look from Hot Sam's. So therefore, it's important how we take care of our customer. And the better they feel, the better they look, the better the relationship and the longer the business will be there.
Yeah, that actually happened to me. It's shout out to Glenn and Communities First, but the event I was at where he did his community candor event, and walking in the Pistons facility, it was like the crew of the guys. It was like, where do you get that? I was like, Hot Sam's. You know what I'm saying? Holla at Tony. Right. Well, it could be Terrence, Mr. Green, and somebody else there too, but definitely the combination and those connections. So, and then also I would think that, men, women I think shop more, but I'd assume like men, I don't know, and men in fashion, I don't know. It's like I'd assume most men just want to go in and get what they want to get, not necessarily be thinking like, let me get some advice here,
Well, I don't think anyone really comes in. Very few. Let me take that back. Some do. Most customers will come in, think they know what they want. Now, what Hot Sam's and what we do differently than any other store, it's called a Hot Sam's experience. We're going to talk to you and we're going to ask you, what do you need this outfit for? Now, if you need this outfit for graduation, and we have another saying, we ask them, do you want to go to graduation? You want to go and say, oh, he looks nice. Or you want to go to graduation? Man, he's sharp. Most young guys say, Mr. Stovall, I want the second one.
Yeah.
Because you want to wear something that's going to be memorable to your prom. Now, if they're going for a job interview, totally different look. We're going to put you in a blue suit, white shirt, and try to make you job approval so you can get that job. So what we do, we ask, we talk, and get a feel what the outfit is for, and we'll dress you for that occasion.
Yeah, and I would say just over time, due to so many, like, I guess, changes, like we say, hip hop has changed a lot of culture, definitely with fashion. I mean, even now, I mean, I've known you guys for forever, but business has had me more presently buying more suits because of the business things. But there's a lot of guys that may only have like one suit. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of guys don't have no suit.
That too.
Now, the new generation, casual dress is much more acceptable now. Back in the day, it was not. Like you had to wear a suit when you went to church. Now you go to church, most folks don't even wear a suit.
Yeah.
But there's still a time and we have a program. That's how we have try to make it work. There are a lot of people we sell a lot of sport coats because people can wear their jeans and a sport coat. Then they can wear dress slack and a sport coat. Now all of a sudden they get in the field for dressing. Then we can gradually move them to a suit. It's going to be rough to take your customer from
a hoodie and jeans.
A hoodie and put him in a suit.
Yeah.
There's a step in between that, and we tend to master that where people appreciate it. So now we have young guys that used to wear the jeans. They now have a reputation of being sharp. They look forward. They come in the store looking forward and say, Mr. Stovall, you got to make me sharper than I was the last time because I want a new look. So we were able to create different looks, different images, but it's built on the relationship we have with the customers.
And when you talk about this relationship with the customers, in Detroit, like you say, this is definitely a city where people, you know, fashion is very forward. I remember my interview with Ma Spice, and she said she worked at the T-shirt store that was in the Renaissance Center and all of these different things. But over time, what's the impact do you think that Detroit has had on a lot of the fashion, I guess, in America, but possibly the world?
No, it is the world. Detroit, especially now, is hotter than it's been in a long time. I've been blessed to travel the world. I mean, and wherever I travel, it doesn't fail when someone will see me and they say, "You're not from here." And then I tell them I'm from Detroit, and they say, "I knew it."
That's funny.
But there's something about us that's different, and it travels. And the reputation of Detroit is global. Global. Whereas, man, I go to New York. I'm not saying New York is the king of fashion. I still say Detroit's the king of fashion. It's what we make it. If we start loving ourselves and appreciating ourselves, didn't know I was going to go in this direction, maybe we quit killing each other. Because we really believe if you dress up, you act a little better. When you dress casual and everything, you treat life casual. There's some times you got to be serious about life. And when it's time to go to work, we should go to work and treat it that way. We cannot get so upset about all the different things going on. Like I like the name of your show, Detroit is Different. Yeah, we're different. But it's not always bad. Different is good. It's a blessing from God. Being different is unique. It has its own grit. It has its own flair. Being different doesn't mean something's wrong. Being different means God accepting God's creation. He made us all different. How would life be if we all look the same?
I mean, I definitely, you get into like the realms of the spirituality in it, because as you talk about creation and creativity, and I believe that that relationship it's like it's divinity within that, and the differences are through that creativity, you know. And definitely this is just my take, and it's more so like as I've moved forward, it's like, okay, put that better fashion foot forward, and I'm not necessarily trying to look like you know, be ultra cool, but I definitely can say having on a suit, it changes the whole way that everyone engages with you versus having on, you know, sweatpants and a hoodie.
Right.
And it's not like, you know, anybody's like, you know, attacking you or anything, but it just, it's a different response that you get in a suit versus not in a suit.
To go along with what you're saying, and I'm going to take myself right now. I didn't know if I was going to wear a suit today for this interview, right? Because I'm known for wearing suits all the time.
Yeah.
But what I do, I try not to be, I don't want to be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to have a suit on. No, I don't necessarily wear a suit. I don't sleep in a suit. You know, I mean, I left church and I'm a little casual, so, but if it's well coordinated, black, and gray, and keeping everything together, we should be able to dress for every occasion. So I said, I'm coming to see a friend, and Detroit is different. I said, I'm gonna come different. I'm not just gonna wear a suit like they expect because he owned the clothing store. I'm gonna wear something I will wear on the street every day and still look presentable.
So with that and presentable, which it's kind of going into like one of the key reasons why you're coming in, and you've been supportive of this for as long as I've known you. Making sure that we turn our dollar over in our own businesses, keeping that Black dollar in the Black community, because that's how we got to patronize, because that is sustaining so much. And I've seen it in action where Hot Sam's has been, it's expanded where you and Mr. Green have brought in family to work, provided opportunities. Like, I mean, Terrence is like, in the mix all the time. Like Hot Sam's has reached out further.
Terrence's son is in the mix.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is just like when we were growing up, and you would see the other people and their children would be in the store running around. We decided we wanted us in the store. I want my friends' sons and daughters to work at the store. I want them to see a Black businessman in our store.
Yeah.
I think it's imperative that every other nationality knows to support its own people and seem to do well at it.
Yeah.
I think Black people, I'm not going to say we don't do well, but there's a lot of room for improvement because we are the greatest people ever lived. If we would start supporting our own businesses, we would all have more. Like I hire Black people. My customers look like me. When there's a program at the schools, I go to the Black schools so they can see Black-owned businesses, giving clothes, feeding the hungry. All those things I want them to see from a Black perspective because the more we have, the more we can show love to others. And I don't want them to get that one impression that some people like to put out there about the negative aspect of Black people. Me and Mr. Green are two honest, hard-working family, happily married with children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews. We want to be a role model for all of them and your kids, that we can run our own businesses and we can support our own without. Because we support other our own business doesn't mean we're putting someone else down.
Yeah.
Because I love Black people don't mean I hate everybody else.
I mean,
and we get beat up all the time. I love Black people. What's wrong with loving yourself?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It does not mean I don't love everyone else.
Yeah.
It's just I hang with this, and I do love us, and I'm not going to apologize for it ever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give us grace as much as I can.
Definitely.
Because the hand that we were dealt, a lesser people would not be here. We want to go back to slavery. I don't look at slavery as bad as some people. It was bad, no question about it. But it showed the strength of Black people, the inventiveness of Black. All those inventions. Because the reason I'm telling you this, they did the work.
Yeah.
So therefore, they figured out a way how to do it better.
Yeah.
But back in the day, the other folks they did this. We didn't kill their children. We nurtured their children.
Yeah.
Yet we still survive. And we still have compassion. We're most forgiving people. I don't really look at it like we're so horrible. We're actually, it shows, slavery really shows the compassion that we have for another people. To accept all those things and still rise. Yeah. Show the greatness in Black people.
Yeah, you're definitely feeding into like all the time. If you go in Hot Sam's, Tony will lay some game on you. You know what I'm saying? And the conversations go in many spaces and places, but it's always from the heart.
Yeah.
And in the same like journey as you talk about the businesses, you've also supported so many other businesses. Sure. But holiday shopping, as we look at it, and holiday shopping, we kind of definitely, I know there's a movement of boycotting, definitely not businesses in our community, but outside of our community.
Yeah.
And then similar to my interview with Dwan Dandridge, Black Leaders Detroit, he was like, yo, we should be supporting our businesses to the point where we're not even necessarily thinking to boycott the businesses. Like,
exactly.
To circulate, it shouldn't even be an opportunity to say we're not going to go there no more, because we should be going to them.
Well, I believe in all that so strongly because I was the original chartering Black president of the Black Chamber of Commerce. So therefore, I had banks and everything else coming to help Black businesses. I've never looked at a competition. I never looked at what we can do. If we strong, we all strong. If I'm strong, we stronger. That's the way I look at life. I don't look at this store's coming in, it's going to be my competition. Yeah. If it's more stores down there, the better the opportunity for all of us to get to grow. Yeah. So I've been in a position where I've helped many businesses. I've also been in a position to be able to help. Like we do people that have formerly been incarcerated. they come to Hot Sam's to get their first job interview too. We work with a lot of programs to help those less than us. It's important that we uplift us because there's so many stories of putting us down. I just want to be Hot Sam's, and me and Mr. Green, we just want to inspire another group of young people that's coming behind us, like yourself and others, that we want to be able to use our wisdom with your youth and your knowledge and your energy. Because if I can show you how the mistakes I made, because we've been in the business for over 50 years and the store's been over 100, we did something right. So therefore, if I can pass some of that knowledge on to you, we all get better. And if you can use some of the new technology like here on this podcast, that's why I'm here today. I want to embrace the young folks where we all become stronger.
Well, definitely. You've been very supportive of, you were supportive of me before Detroit is Different existed. Right. And in so many different lessons in life.
Let me say this. Sure. Because we all go through something in life. I remember we were sitting in the store one day and we were seeing all these young boys with their pants falling off. And I told Cliff, you know what we're going to do? Instead of talking about them, let's start bringing them in. We start giving them a pair of pants and put it on their waist where it should wear properly. Much is given, much is expected. Since we're able to do that, I've had young men to thank me, make them feel better about themselves. If we can keep helping our people, the stronger we'll be. Didn't mean to interrupt, but it was just something on my heart that we could all help. If we could just give each other a smile or a handshake every now and then instead of frowning all the time.
Yeah, I think I definitely feel that scope. And then just more so like the collective brotherhood of things, Lord knows this has been a very interesting year for me. So I'm like tapping into like different spaces and places of even creating what that center is. But so much of I know people probably sick of me playing Donny Hathaway's He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. I want to say that was probably on when you walked in here, but these relationships, especially as Black men and the bonds that we share, a lot of it is conditioned to like more so, I think, see the lack of the bonds that sometimes feel like they don't exist. That's not like at a Hot Sam's, but even beyond Hot Sam's, as you talked about, even in business. And this is the other thing I like about Detroit is business. Detroit is different so much. Like the stories that I've gathered in a lot of the footsteps, like the work you've done is what, and this is senior. So like what Mr. Brazelton Sr. was doing years ago with like gathering so many of the Black businesses, and I'm sure others will pick up that baton from you, as you have worked in so many spaces. Like, when people talk Detroit business, you're going to be high on the list. When we think of a black owned store in downtown Detroit, it ain't many.
No. Well, you know what? And as we talk about this in shopping. And it tends to say the focus that we're having right now, it must be the right thing to do. Because if you notice, Saturday was Small Business Saturday.
Yes, sir.
They were promoting small and local businesses. Then there's also a Black business supporting Black businesses. That's now what the media is even perpetuating. So what we're saying earlier, that we're saying support Black businesses, we should. People need to understand this. Small businesses run the world. Not the big business. They just want to get all the limelight. But we're the ones hire the people in the community. We're the ones hire the people in the restaurants because we live in that community.
Yeah.
So if Detroit is 80-something% Black, it should be more Black businesses. It should be more Black businesses and customers supporting one another. The greater the city becomes. And not trying to get too much on politics, but now we also have a new mayor. Young, Black, first female mayor of the city of Detroit. With all the history of Detroit.
Yeah.
All the Black history, Coleman Young and others. It's the first Black female.
Her grandfather.
Yeah.
Her grandfather's history at Dabo is
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And now look, she is the first female Black mayor of this great city.
Yeah. And
I want to tell everyone that it is time for us to start loving on that young lady, help her be the best leader she could be for us. Not when I say us, I mean all Detroit.
Yeah.
All Detroit, Black, white, everything, because our history is so rich. We do not want to see her fail, because if she fails, we fail.
I mean, it definitely becomes a reflection that reverberates as other agendas. I mean, we definitely know, I mean, even to this day, I think the way that, and that's why I love Detroit is Different too, because I have a platform to give my point of view and perspective, to help contextualize some of the things that media presents about people in our community that I think they miss. And definitely when I think of the executive leadership of Mayor Kilpatrick, the way that it's painted is not the reality I saw. And I'm definitely not saying that there were not mistakes made
there were
from that
made.
administration, but to the degree of which the way it's been painted, nah. So I definitely, not just with Mayor-elect Sheffield, but many others, rallying around one another so that we can continue to be not just in leadership positions, but connect with community where it's fluid and we're all in support of one another. And I mean, it's now I'm rambling, but
you know what? Let me stay right there though. I think it's important. One, this broadcast, there are not many of us free to speak our mind honestly, and we must remember this word. And let's break it down. His story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. His story.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's his story.
Yes.
We must tell our story.
Very much so.
No one can tell me about Black folks' story better than another Black person.
Yes.
I mean, you can only have a idea of what it would be to be Black.
And very
To
much
be Black, I need another Black person to tell our story.
Yep.
You have the freedom to do that, and I have the freedom. And I'm talking about, I do this unapologetic, like you said, down to my store, because women have a lot of their girlfriends to call. Black men do not. They walk around alone, knowing they're walking around with a bullseye on their back, because the world has said they're almost like a monster, less human.
Yeah.
We're human. So I wanted to make it where guys could come to my store. We can talk about politics. We can talk about religion. We can talk about your children. We can talk whatever you want to talk about, and without being judged.
Yeah.
We must be able to talk to one another. We can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable.
Yes.
We can still get along. And I hear plenty of young men that have come to us, they've seen us getting a little spat, just sports. Somebody disagreeing, boom, boom, boom. But no one gets a gun. No one gets upset. I'm going to fight. No one. I had a young man tell me, he said, I've never seen that before until I come down here, Mr. Stovall. So I'm telling us, watch what you say around our children. Watch how you behave around our children. And if anyone out there have a problem with their children, I want them to tell them, bring them down to the store. Let them get some love. Our relationship now is not just about you buying something. It's about us falling in love with each other and make this city greater.
Yeah, very much so. And I was just gonna, like, that snapshot over the years, like, from the stories of our people sharing the stories. Like, so we look at the executive leadership of Mayor Coleman Young. That is, I mean, that is so beloved by our people today.
Yes.
But Mayor Coleman Young is coming from a community where so many of the people that were into his office, like, so we're thinking about like Bill Beckham, and I mean even Irma Henderson, like the roots of a lot of those Miller High students that were like, okay, we up at bat, and now we about to get in there and we about to run things. Conrad Mallett Sr. and you're like, these people, you know, Annie Peck, like these people that you see street signs. I know, like, these Detroiters, like, I mean, I get this from a lot of the OGs that tell me this stuff, but the collective culture around what was happening with his executive office and people that were looking to get in place was his position was a representation of us all. And I'm maybe not everybody, but most, it was many that felt like this is an opportunity that we have to hit it out the park because of what will happen and how things will be moved. So the way that it functions. So definitely I would I'm looking and I'm still thinking through exactly like how I want to frame it, but I definitely want to do a pretty long piece through Detroit is Different about media literacy in my role of making sure like, okay, we need to be very mindful because I'm already disgruntled with some of the reports from media outlets that ain't our people.
Right.
Moving in and creating a small narrative that I think can become something that they want to get larger. So I really want to do that sometime early in 2026.
But like I said earlier, we must make sure that whatever story they tell, and it may be, it's never going to be told in a positive side for us. But sometimes we play into the negative story.
Very much so.
We must start carrying ourselves and respecting each other, where the story is going to be different. We play a part in some of the negatives, but we're not that animal that they try to create that we are. They're much more compassionate, loving people. I believe most parents want their children to have a better life than what they had.
Very much so.
I think sometimes they're not equipped to do that. So that's when this whole concept it takes a village to raise a child. We must start helping our neighbor, treating them as ourselves. We don't do that. And that's what we try to do at Hot Sam's.
Yep. And in that journey, I mean, like I say, you're touching that.
Right.
So now I guess I got to just get more so into like more of this business side and you all being down there for so long and growing with it. But so making, because Mr. Green's told me a little bit more of the story from his point of view.
Sure.
But purchasing Hot Sam's.
Yeah, boy.
And then purchasing Hot Sam's and like a lot of people, we go to business school. I mean, I got multiple degrees in business and they'll say, okay, you got your business and then you can go, you got experience. Let's get these lines of credits. Let's get this loans.
Mm-hmm.
What was the relationship with the banks? What was the relationship with the vendors? What was happening when you guys took ownership of Hot Sam's?
Well, and some people think what we did was easy. Believe me, it was not. And but it's something that me and Mr. Green at the time, I think I worked at Hot Sam for 20 years. He worked at a previous establishment, went to school and degrees for about 30 years. So we had a lot of experience in what we were trying to do. We were also the top producers of buying Hot Sam's. But I've seen a lesser people go in, have no experience, and they get the money before we can. So that's why I say we got to be ready for that. Don't expect. My father almost raised us to be. You can't do what they do. You got to make sure you do the right thing. Like I was talking about some of the stuff with how they try to make the story about Kwame so horrible. Well, there's some stories about the existing mayor that were much, much worse, but did not get the same negative feedback.
They didn't get any.
So I'm not going to get into that because we're into a new regime. We have Mary going to be at the wheel, and I'm sorry, Madam Mayor's going to be at the wheel.
Yep.
And she was there for all this development. So she's a closer one to be able to take us to the next level. But now we got to make sure that we stand with her and together. But back to business, it's really a lot of things you need to understand. Relationship. No one's knocking on your door to come give you a business. Then when you get in business, you have got to have a good relationship with your landlord. You have to have a good relationship with your vendors. So there's a lot of work that when you see the front, it looks easy, but it's not.
I want to, my dad as a CPA, he always said this, and more of the lessons he's always was sharing these same lessons. It just took me more time to like grow my business to have an understanding of it. But you touched on something he always speaks to. Definitely relationships, but he says you got to be mindful about the dynamics of a relationship. Right. So like this vendor, when Hot Sam's was owned by the past ownership, now it's owned by you. The dynamics of the relationship change. How were you guys balancing and knowing how to navigate that?
Now here's when you put on your business hat. When we were buying Hot Sam's, which was a $1 million business year after year. And when we were in the process of buying it, I had a lot of my friends, supposed to be smart business, they want us to change the name, be Tony and Cliff's, the fellas, a couple different names, right? And we refused to do that.
Yeah.
because our business hat was on. That the scenario that you just said about my vendors and the bank did not change because we kept the name Hot Sam's. We paid, I forgot what it was, for the name Hot Sam's.
Licensing rights.
Right. We own that name. The family can't even use that their great grandfather's name. We own it. So therefore, my vendors, all they know is they shipping to
Hot Sam's.
Hot Sam's, 100-year-old business. Then from there, where it comes in, you just got to pay your bills. Now, if you don't pay your bills, then you might get a little more Q&A. We didn't have to even fill out job credit stuff because of the name was Hot Sam's, and they continued to ship us. That's what happens with a lot of us when we get in business. We get to pounding our chest and say, I'm gonna be Tony's and Cliff's. Yeah. Well, who is Tony and Cliff? To the business world.
Yeah.
But Hot Sam's is a 100-year-old business to the business world, and to the banks, and to the vendors. So you have to think about everything in a business perspective. Here's another key in business. When we first bought Hot Sam's, there were about 10 stores around us.
Very much so.
And few of them were saying, after me and Cliff, two black guys, we wouldn't last 6 months because all these other Jewish-owned stores were spitting venom on us.
Yeah, like sermons. And,
So here's the good news. Hot Sam's is still there.
Yeah.
And they all gone.
Yeah.
Because Hot Sam's believes in the customer. If the fashion has changed, I can't keep making you wear wide legs and the fashion is going to a narrow leg. Some of my previous business owners, they wanted to insist on this and that. They came to us one time and told us that we want everybody to start charging for alterations. Well, because they said it, when you own the business, you do what's best for you and your customer. We didn't charge for alterations, people, because if you don't have sense enough to put the cost of goods and service into the product, you shouldn't be in business no way. And what it does, it makes the customer feel all you're doing is think about more money and more money. It's important that you keep your customer first and make sure they're pleased. So we tried to do everything we could to listen to the customer. I remember when we moved where we are now, we did a survey in that building because at that time it was over 5,000 people that they were bringing down.
It was the CompuWare building.
CompuWare, but now it's about 20,000 bedrock. So we had a survey passed around to all the employees. We wanted to hear what they like. Now, before we did the survey, we didn't even carry blue jeans. So we carry blue jeans now. So it's important to listen to what your customer has, especially the customer that's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
So, and you must be willing to change. And that's rough for most business people.
Yeah. And you all have definitely, as the styles have changed, definitely like the layout of the store changing. Yeah. I mean, your daughter Lauren has added all types of new ideas.
Right.
The fashion show that you all host, all these new ideas as far as like looking at change. How do you embrace it? How do you know, what works, what doesn't work? I remember even the Jazz Fest. Shout out to Raphael. Raphael like touring and all that stuff now, but doing stuff with Jazz Fest. Like, how has making those change, making those pivots in business? What's the how are you making that decision? Because you also still have a partner in this.
Well, you can make the changes, but you can't. I had to tell this to my daughter, too, because she helped us change. We're like the Titanic in the ocean. Big ship. So for us to change, it's going to take a little time. So she was patient with us shifting. And she wanted us to shift much quicker than what we wanted to shift.
Yeah.
She wanted just us immediately quit this and quit that. Well, you can't do that. Gradually change. And then we incorporated a downtown fashion show, which we call Black Wall Street. Once again, supporting who we are. Because at that time, they trying to say they can't find black businesses downtown, right? Yeah. So we brought down 30 black businesses every year so they wouldn't be able to say they don't know where they are. So you can sell yourself without running over someone doing it. And every one of those Black Wall Street events and fashion show were very, very successful in downtown Detroit. And we want black people to know, please come downtown Detroit. Unfortunately, a lot of us want to say we don't come downtown.
Don't feel as welcome.
Yeah. It's Detroit. It's us. I guarantee you no one's going to do anything to you. This is our town. We should be part of everything that goes on. And Hot Sam's will be. When they talk about doing any renovations down there, they talk to us first. When they and look, and I'm telling you, I have stopped, or my voice has spoken up, and we made some shifts and some things they wanted to do that we thought would hurt us and hurt black people being come downtown. Like Hot Sims, people talk about they can't park. We got free parking. Free parking. You come to Hot Sims and all the congestion, all the construction, there's free parking in Hot Sims. We want you to feel welcome, and you are welcome in downtown Detroit.
Most definitely. I remember even the year of the NFL draft when I came in that day, because I don't even, what was I getting? I was getting I don't know, like a sweater or something. And I was like, man, I'm about to go viral with this. But they it definitely changed in your favor fast.
Well, it looked like it was a problem at first. I know what you're talking about, the congestion down there, right? On top of that, we were able to talk to the NFL people.
Yep.
And the city and Bedrock, and everything went well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we were the only store that was up on the stage to talk to. There was 770,000 people that came down to Detroit for that draft. It was so congested, our website crashed. We now ship all over the world. So that in the midst of somewhat look like chaos, the first thing is remain calm.
I mean, that's Eastern philosophy, yin and yang. It's
You
crises, you got opportunity.
It is.
It's how you look at the crises.
That's right.
As clearly, and I think that's a lesson I've learned from my dad too in business. That it's two good times for. Well, this is my perspective, so I accept this from my dad's tutor. Shout out to my pops of, I'm going to end up with great clients when they're in crises or when they're brand new. But usually when they afloat.
Right.
They drinking whatever Kool-Aid they already drink.
Yeah, but back to what we were saying. You must remain calm in the midst of crises because there's also opportunities.
Yes.
If you remain calm. You can make it worse if you get a little lose your cool, because we were able to talk to everyone.
Now sometimes the losing my cool, and I'm learning this just is and I'm very grateful for all of the opportunities that have been bestowed upon me and now like extending to others. But I think for me personally, that pressure in the crises, it's not even necessarily me sometimes. It's like the other people around becoming more frantic. It's like if we're playing basketball and we're down 10 and I'm like, I think we can come back, but everybody else is like, we losing, So how do you find that balance? Because there are other stakeholders, that's another business term, but those stakeholders are family, friends,
employees.
Yeah,
my team.
Yeah,
because that often happens. What you just said, there's always chance that we can all lose our cool, right?
Yeah.
I am the one that try to keep us always. I look at everything half full. Everything. It's gonna be all right because I woke up this morning. I start right there, because we taking our lives for granted. Unfortunately, I'm going off, but too many people are dying and we don't know them because they're panicking for no reason. We must remain calm. And when my business gets slow, and all my staff will tell you, they don't never see me get rattled. I can't be rattled, because if I'm rattled, then the whole boat will sink. I remain calm because I've been through different storms. I've seen it all just about, and I've learned to be a good business person. You remain calm. Then you think about how can we get this, because like you said, it's also an opportunity too here. And you find that opportunity. And we've been able to survive it all for over 100 years. Remain calm, keep a clear head, and you look at everything around you, and you only can deal with what you can control. I can't control the weather, but I can control when I market, when I don't. I can't control what I'm gonna buy, what I'm not gonna buy, how much I'm gonna buy, or when to stop. You got to know all those variables, especially in the midst of a storm. And we've been able to master that, and that's why we've been in business for over 100 years. And we plan to be in business for another 100.
And I would be surprised if it's not happening like that.
Right.
Now, as you share this knowledge, as I say, and shout out to Walsh College, but as I always say, business school was kind of like employee school. So it's like the lessons that my dad has shared, but really, rest in peace, Don Scott. The lessons my granddad would share was like, man, like real raw. But but they stick out in my mind more and more as I get through more levels of business. How does how do or how have so many of the businesses that you've connected with over years? Because like I definitely think like in a run like maybe like 90s, early 2000s, any and everything connected with Black business, you had a presence somewhere in
Sure.
there, you know?
Right.
And unlike it's a lot of people that represent Black business, but I don't ever see them owning a business. But that's why I always applauded you being on these panels. And this is not to throw shade at anybody, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that talk business, kind of like
Mhm.
employee school, but don't own one.
Right. You know, actually, a lot of people talk that but don't own a business. Because I'm going to tell you, let me give you a key. I had to teach people this when I was president of the Black Chamber.
Yeah.
The business owner does not wait for something to happen. The business owner makes something happen. The business owner is not on the payroll. The business owner makes the payroll. So I don't go to work waiting on the check.
Yeah.
I go to work trying to get a check for everybody. When it's slow, or what appears to be slow, I then think, like right now, I'm thinking we have another way of doing things. I'm reaching out to a couple other young guys on a podcast that's got some good things they're doing, and they've let me come in, and I'm talking to them. You have always got to have something in your mind, and I'm feeling so much positive, seeing the greatness of the young people like yourselves, and there's some young people out there really got it going on, and we need to thank them and embrace them and quit kicking them. So I'm hooking up with some of these young, talented young people so I can reach them and touch them so they can see that we may make you think it's easy. It's not. But we can get through
it. And that you speak to that, your thought process that you say reaching like to the next generation, do you think that the organizations and where things shift and in those spaces when it comes to like so many of like I guess these business associations, what's your take on that, and how have they taken to like a lot of just the raw real that you usually give whenever you in a room?
Well, you know what, I'm gonna tell you what first I think that's wonderful. When we bought Hot Sam's in 1994, none of these organizations exist. None. I didn't have all these different, like we've started an organization called Legacy. Legacy is an organization my daughter started that if you've been in business for over 30 years, they're going to give you some additional funding. Right? Those were not around in 94. There were no business plans and showing. Matter of fact, we went to the bank and then we started how to create a 501c3. No, I'm sorry, I had to get an LLC, different corporation. Those are things you are coming around that's now more relevant. Now they got all these. They got programs to help Black businesses.
Yeah.
They got programs to fund Black businesses. Yeah. They didn't have that before. And they got Black people running them.
Yeah. Charity Dean with what she does.
Wonderful.
Definitely the Black Alliance is now like Michigan State. I was gonna say, because he's not that far from here. I thought that I thought the Booker T. Washington Business Association was around at that time, because I know Mr. Ross would be like, I was in there. But I think at that time it was...
Well, it was around, but actually, because I was the president of the Black Chamber, we merged with them. But that was after 94. Yeah. It was just, there weren't as many, I'm telling you. And I wish there were. And I learned a couple things from one, and I'm not going to mention their name. They taught me the principles of business, right? And I took those principles that they taught me. I actually got accepted of some funds they were going to give me. I learned so much from them. I took my business plan around and shopped it around. And I refused the money they were going to give me because the interest rate was so high. Sometimes when you start a business, you're excited and you're going to take any deal you can. But you got to learn to keep your business cap on, because if one person gives me a loan for 16%, and I get that same loan with no collateral for 6%, versus another company going, I'm with you, Tom, but you got to put your house up, and the interest rate going to be 16%. When you're starting off a business, you're going to be anxious and you might accept anything. We almost did that. Instead, we took a non-collateral loan and got the same money for 6%. So those are things you learn in business. And I learned that from a couple companies And when I went there to talk to the gentleman, and I said, no, I'm not accepting your money, and I appreciate it. And he shared with me, well, we approved you. But it was up to me to make a decision. Yeah, you approved me, but if I don't pay the loan, you're going to take my house into 16%.
That ain't gonna work.
So that wasn't good for my wife, my family.
You got that right.
But I did get this loan. My house is not up, and it's at 6%. So you have got to think about all these things in business. A lot of times people, especially in new businesses, they normally go out of business in 3 years.
Yes.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't hit it right, you're not gonna last long.
And sometimes though the struggles, I don't like that term. Well, I shouldn't say. I don't like the way that I think a lot of people use that serial entrepreneur term. But I do think that at times, one venture does not reach the destination that I thought it would.
Right.
But I learned a lot of lessons, and I definitely think that even better than the knowledge that I've been bestowed from others. The best way to learn lessons in business is losing money, because that crystallizes the hell out of my mind, where it's like, oh, can't do that again. I need to learn this. I gotta move here. I gotta, it's.
Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing in business that's very, very important. Mm-hmm. Your people skills, because a lot of times businesses fall apart internally. I told Mr. Green, the only thing gonna come between me and you will be me or you. Yeah. It will not be outside forces that's going to tell you, well, I thought Tone owned it, or somebody tell me, I thought Cliff owned it, and all these different stories to get us to turn in on one another. What's the most important thing I told him? It ain't in no business class either. Nothing will come between me and you, not my wife, not his wife. Only thing come between me and you is me and you. And if me and you have a disagreement, me and you need to talk about that before it goes any further. We've had disagreements before, but never where they blew up. We were to work together internally and kept us together.
That's actually why that interview before that first fashion show is one of my favorite, because it's the brotherhood of both of you all as businessmen. And it's always shared like, oh, we can't do business together and everything. I have as you talk about like examples, the both of you, I have decades of an example. And growing business and the ups and downs of the flows of the market and all of this other stuff and what's happened, that it's like, okay, I see how it works. And having that connection.
Let me give you this too. In having and I'm telling you, we had a very, very successful football first 4 or 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. In that we had different malls, Eastland, Northland, all was seeking us. I always wanted to get a store there, and it was very tempting to do such, right? Mm-hmm. But you also have to be honest with yourself. Can I spread myself that thin? And also, when you do that, you lose some of the control you had because you want to have multiple stores. We stayed with one store and were able to weather the storms and continue to have that one store stay downtown and continue to grow. People were calling us before we moved where we are now, right? The malls are closed. Hot Stam, downtown. Yeah. Still there.
You got that right.
Eastland, Northland was calling us with all kind of options. Mm-hmm. And if we'd have took them, we'd have been closed like the malls closed. Yeah. So you got to think about business.
And at this, I mean, as we get like closer to a close here, the other thing that you always speak of, and oftentimes people don't put it in this mix, but you often speak of family and you also speak of faith, and that kind of connecting even through business, because I think sometimes, which back to his story, people make it seem as though they're not in the mix of this or moving through thinking of family and thinking of faith when you're doing business ventures. Is, sometimes this society makes it seem like it wouldn't matter.
Well, I think sometimes we have to remove ourselves to sit and think you did everything you did on your own. And I'm a pretty strong individual, but it's great to know someone greater above me has helped me. Because there are times that me and Mr. Green can tell, and we got secrets we're going to take us to the grave, that we know we saw our way out of stuff, and we know we didn't do it. Yeah. We know we had a financial problem, and some kind of way the money came through. We know that. We don't take no credit because there is someone greater than us that we also must give respect to. We can't think it's all ourselves. There's one greater than us that looks out for us. And we have no problem sharing that because you need somebody you can shoulder, you can cry on and pray to that things got to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the family dynamic with business.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, like I said, all of Chelsea, Cliff's sons have all worked there. All my daughters have worked there one time or another. But now Lauren, my middle daughter, she does a lot of the marketing and imaging and things for us. So we're trying to keep it in the family. And now Cliff's daughter, Charity, she has her own clothing line, and she helps out now. So we're trying to keep it a family affair.
Okay, I got to ask this question too, because I know my dad gets a kick out of seeing sometimes me do things. What is it like looking at Lauren and the, I guess, the further generations, even Terrence's son, like as they're navigating more in this same space? Sure. What's that experience like for you?
Well, as a father, sometimes it's challenging because we have a generation of, I've raised my daughters to be smart and intelligent, and if you have questions to ask them, sometimes she asks too many questions. Sometimes she thinks she knows more than I do, and that's the only challenge. But sometimes she realizes this is how she survived, was through what Dad has done all these years. And she's accepted the fact that sometimes she shared this on her own broadcast before, that sometimes she needs to stop and listen. And sometimes we need to stop and listen.
I really like that Black Friday's interview with her. Shout out to Denzel. I like that interview, and definitely knowing your daughter too. Yeah, I would say the apple and tree are very close when it comes to like if a point needs to be made.
Yes.
That's I could.
Well, I have 3 very strong daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Lauren is one of them, but all 3 are very strong. We raised them to be that way. Mm-hmm. So as parents, don't be surprised when they may say something back to you because you raised them to be strong, but very respectful always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, even your wife, I met her at what was it? It was like a music thing I was doing with my cousin. And even just the grace that she has, but definitely it was like, no, we're gonna do this the right way. I was like,
yeah, she is going to be that. They get to. I have 4 strong females, actually 5. My granddaughter as well. All of them are very strong, and they balance their love for me and give me the respect I'm worthy of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's when I think of just. Period. It's like an institution where it's, I know the credibility for me and community, it stretches. Right. So with this being said, as you talk about, we need to shop together, get together. What's that connection? What are you looking for as far as right now? Kind of like I closed out with the Zayna interview. What are some items right now that you think should be in a brother's closet in Detroit that they need to come down to the high?
Here's the good news. Mm-hmm. That's what's great about Michigan. We got 4 seasons.
Yeah, you got that right.
It's winter right now. Mm-hmm. Come get a coat. Mm-hmm. Come get a jacket. Yeah. Get some outerwear. Mm-hmm. We have outerwear. Matter of fact, from now to Christmas, we have outerwear up to 50% off. Mm-hmm. Yes. We have suits. But I'm telling you, for now, it's time to put coats on, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Put a hat on or a cap on.
Yep.
We want to stay warm. We want to fight this cold. We don't want to we want to stay healthy so we can see the summer.
Yeah.
But go through the winter, get your top coat, top hat, a jacket, some outerwear. And we got some nice corduroy pants. Everything is marked down up to 50% on a lot of different items. Just come down and let us see us. Let us give you a gift with any purchase you make. Just because we on Detroit is different.
I like it. I actually got something like through like you got like buying the points or something. It like came in my phone.
Yes.
And also, you guys are gonna see me in the and that was I think the key compliment of the people in the Pistons. It's like a black and white checkered coat that you said, what you think, this one or this one? And I got both of them, but I was like, that's the one that I think that's gonna kill it. So yep. If you guys see me in that coat, know it's from Hot Sam's. Really, if you see me in a suit or any, like I guess, more professional wear of anything, it's going to be from Hot Sam's. It's this one brother I know that makes tailored suits and stuff that I told him, I was like, one day I'm going to holler at you. But now I'm with Hot Sam's all the time. So as we close, Classic Detroit is different questions now. Very first car, year, make, and model, year you got it.
My first car?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I had a 1963 Comet. That was my very first car.
Okay, I don't even know.
I know.
The maker of a Comet and everything.
It was pink.
It was pink?
With a convertible top.
With a convertible top? Okay.
And no, that was my second car. Let me get my first car. 1961 Corvair, Chevy Corvair.
Okay.
Had the engine in the back. Stick shift. My father wanted, and he gave it to my mom. But my mom refused to drive a stick shift. So they gave it to me. And I learned to drive on a 1961 Corvair.
Okay, so you learned how to drive with a manual?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Because we stayed on the east side of on Parker. And Sears Roebuck was at the corner. And my grandfather used to let me sit on his lap, and he showed me how to shift gears and all those things. And I learned to drive on a stick shift.
Okay, so you didn't pop the clutch and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where's the first place you went when you got the car?
Where's the first place I went? Oh, I got y'all again on this one. Top Hat Hamburger. Man, back in the day, Top Hat Hamburger, you get 10 hot sandwiches for $1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Top
back in
Hat.
the day.
Top Hat was almost like today's White Castle.
I think it's still one over by McKenzie. Well, I guess it's not McKenzie. I guess it's McKenzie Middle School.
Is it a Top Hat?
I think it is one. I think it is one still over there.
Okay.
I think so. But they may have just like kept the name. I don't know if they paid for licensing rights or anything,
Right.
but I don't know. Because it's like it kind of looked like the Monopoly man with like a stick in his hat.
But if you want to talk about different in Detroit, how about coming downtown to Hudson's? That was something for us back in the day. And I want everyone to know they have brought back Hudson's, and it's equally as exciting now as it was back in the day.
Yeah, I had an interview with shout out to Ardina, 94-year-old, that was talking about like they used to do like some special waffles and ice cream there, and I was like, that's an interesting combination. But
yeah, but coming downtown to shop at Hudson's was real big, and I want everybody to know they brought Hudson's back. Come on back downtown.
Next, Detroit is a different question. You're the DJ at the end of the fireworks, Woodward and Jefferson. You get to play 2 songs. What songs you playing?
What's going on?
Okay. It's a classic one. The second.
Wait. I'm going to give you another one because my uncle wrote this song.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Postman.
Oh, for real?
Yes, my uncle wrote that.
Oh, man. The uncle that worked at Motown?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, hey. So he got some residuals off that. Shout out to Uncle.
Yeah.
All right. And then, what's that? That's a Mary Wells. Last question. You could rename Woodward after one Detroiter. Who would it be and why?
Coleman Young.
He's the most answered one.
Yeah. No, but Coleman Young, I think some of them missed some of this because they tried to destroy him on his way out. Under his administration, he helped more black millionaires ever to start their own business. Coleman Young come to town. He's the mayor. If you want to start a business with any outside industry want to come to Detroit, they had to talk to Coleman Young. Coleman Young would say, find you a black partner. See, that's what I'm saying. When you're in a position Coleman Young is in, a position I might be in, I try to inspire us. And that's what he did. So if he was to name one street over, change Woodward, it would be Coleman Young Avenue.
Yeah, definitely. And one hell of a thinker, one hell of a collection of relationships that ran deep. And
thank you. And seeing people as black as Coleman was supposed to be, right? We also know he had the Tillmans, the Fords, the Illiges, all were his friends.
Yeah.
And they respected him because he was the mayor, and they demanded respect. Coleman Young was just so special and ahead of his time. It's just an honor. I think I had the pleasure of meeting him once because my father knew him, and it was just a pleasure just to see him. I was a kid because I really think he changed our perspective of ourselves, that we could be anything we wanted to, and that's another thing Hot Sam tries to do. Let the young folks know you can be anything you want. I'm not anything special. I came off the east side of Detroit. I grind, I worked, kept my word, and I own a business. and you could do the same.
Hey, well, like a lot of other stores have pictures of people up. It ain't many pictures of many people up in Hot Sam's, but one is Coleman Young for sure.
That's right.
So with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. All
Peace.
right. Peace.
Detroit, 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 Detroit.